Hey docs, what's up? Dr. Dave Moore here, and I'm so excited to have this interview finally. The questions that people have been asking me over the last few months, especially, hey doc, how do you have this 2 day a week practice where you're seeing 75 patients on Tuesday and 75 on Thursday? How are you constantly getting new patients in the door? And then really being able to do anything I want to do on the other 5 days, which happens to be with working with chiropractors and helping you guys do what you got to do, right? So I'm introducing you to my good friend Scott. He's my marketing master. We met, I would say, Scott, was it 2 years ago at this point almost?
Just about 2 years ago.
2 years ago, and he automated my marketing system 2 years ago, and for me, it's like magic. It's like magic. I basically show up to my office on the days I'm there. I have scheduled new patients and reports stacked, right? Because my assistant takes all the leads that Scott brings in, puts them on this computer system, which shows you where the fresh leads are, and after they have a first contact, and after they have the report, and when they close, so we can track all of our new patients all the time, totally automated. So there's a lot of magic there I like to ask questions about, but I just wanted to first of all thank you because you freed me up over the last 2 years, and in particular over the last year as I got this new 2 day elite practice rolling. I couldn't do it without you. So I appreciate you very much.
It's my pleasure, man. Absolutely.
So the story goes, so I was always creating videos and putting them on internet, Facebook, educating my community, creating a brand. You know Abe, he's an awesome videographer. I really got into that stuff. And so most of my marketing was putting videos on Facebook and then trying to get people to watch the videos and maybe click a link and make an appointment. And that's what I thought Facebook internet marketing was. And I guess I was relatively successful at it. I would get a couple patients a week from that, and that was probably more than I ever had before. But you showed up one day, and talk about that. What happened?
Yeah. So a lot of people probably do what you do in this community, and they think it's the right thing to do. And depending on what your intention is, it's absolutely the right thing to do. But as far as names, numbers, and emails, and sometimes quiz submissions and data of people that actually want chiropractic care, it's not the best thing to do. But from watching your videos, I could tell, I was like, all right, this guy wants to grow his practice. And so the story is actually pretty funny. So I was selling an affiliate program for about two and a half years prior. And I had just gotten started in the agency space working with chiropractors. And, in my old business, I was doing the sales cycle and the business cycle. So for me, it was like, wow, I could just do the business cycle, which is the marketing, the advertising, and part of the lead nurture, and then just sell that to all these people. So that was kind of my aha moment in getting into the agency space. And it's funny because right now, like how you were doing, and probably a lot of your colleagues, they're doing both the business cycle, the marketing, advertising, lead nurture, and the sales cycle. Come in, do an exam, do a consultation, report of findings. And so, like, big picture, that's what this service can provide from you. It can free you partially from the business cycle. So anyways, unannounced, not invited, I walk into your office and I said, I think I said something like, hey man, I've been you don't know me, my name's Scott Thiemann, but I've been watching your videos online and I think they're really great and really great quality. But I noticed they only have a couple hundred views, and I could tell you're probably, investing some money to make this good quality video work. And I just wanted to make sure you're getting a good return on investment. Let's talk. I believe it was something like that, right?
Yeah.
And
I off the bat, when salespeople come to my office, I just really beat you up. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things that I enjoy doing when people come in the door. So if you're there, I might as well have some fun with you and kind of see where you're coming from. And quite honestly, I thought a couple hundred views was pretty good, to tell you the truth. You get 500 views, that's a lot of views. But and you asked the question, is it converting into new patients? And so before we go any further, because I don't want anybody to pause, I get about 30 to 40 leads a month from Scott. People clicking on specific ads that I put out there that they're responding to things that I want them to respond to. So people are actually contacting me in response to ads we're putting out there. And it's not from videos I'm putting on my Facebook page. there's a difference. And it took me a while to understand what all that really meant. So tell us the difference between what I was doing and what you actually do, because I was getting views also, but they weren't clicking on to find out whether they can become patients of mine. They might have liked it, you know what I mean? But that's cool. I made a video, so I spent money on a video, educated, put my heart and soul into it, and somebody liked it. You know, like I wanted them to respond to it. So now I'm getting, I can just go on my phone right now from this morning, and people are saying they're responding to the leads and they want to make an appointment. So tell me how that happens.
Yeah. So when you post on like your wall, let's say you have 1,000 people that like your page. The way that in Facebook, it literally changes every day. Sometimes I want to like bang my head against my desk. So every time I log in, they change. So you either need to spend a lot of time continuing education doing it yourself, or you need to offload that to people that know what they're doing. So here's the difference is, when you post a video on your wall, if you have 1,000 people that like the page, the algorithm is only going to show that to a very, very small percentage of those 1,000 people, like 3 to 10%. So only 3 to 10% are going to see it just naturally. So what Facebook wants you to do is they want you to spend money on their platform. I mean, they're like one of the biggest companies in the world. And they have this thing called boosting posts. So you never want to boost a post. Boosting posts is the consumer level advertising opportunity for consumer level advertisers. So although you may think you're doing the right thing by boosting a post, I would
do $20. I would boost it for $20, and I would get all people to look at it, and it's what I did. Exactly what I did.
Yep, you times 100,000 people every single day, and Mark Zuckerberg got his feet up, doing whatever he's doing. And it's not your fault, because there's no formal, hey, here's what you do as a medical professional on how to advertise on this. You were just doing what you believed was the right thing to do. So you'll still get exposure, you'll still get video views. So here's what's interesting. The difference with us is we are a direct response, or really a brand response agency. And so what we want to do is we want to take your marketing message, and we want to put what's called an offer behind it. So people, when you're talking to them, they are tuning into the radio station called WIIFM. What's in it for me? And so how can we, yes, you're giving value in your videos, but how can we make it about them? And what you do is you make an offer. So with chiropractic, we're doing, with your offer actually that we really kind of crafted together, the 90-day neck protocol. And so I think what's really unique in your case, which is actually different than all the other chiropractic marketing we've done as of 3 months ago when we switched it up, was, hey, we've got this new neck protocol program to help you, fix your spine from the neck down, whatever the copy says. And it's a breakthrough chiropractic program that's now available in North Jersey. And you may or may not qualify for it. Click here to apply now. And if you do qualify for it, the first visit is only $47, and you'll get X, Y, and Z on the first visit, blah, blah, blah. So
I want to jump in there really quick, because why that's so cool is I actually sell a 90-day program, which is exactly what I learned through Brad Glowacki's program. Okay, his day 1, day 2 program, and what Brad talks about, selling that upfront package and then stacking the value. So when we're attracting in the marketing, we're attracting in a high ticket 90-day program, okay, which includes the visits and includes everything that I add in that value stack, which is very important, right? And then from there we transition into the wellness care, but that's a whole other conversation for chiropractors. But I think it's so important to have that upfront higher ticket number, which and Russell Brunson talks about it all the time. And then from there, as they go into their wellness program, there's a perceived drop in care. There's also a drop in dollars, and that was a lower monthly fee. But you know what? Now as the care goes down, their fee goes down, but they love it and they stay in that subscription type of environment in their wellness program. But I think it's so important to have the high ticket number up front. And that's really what we're selling, is that program. We're not selling adjustments. We're selling this 90-day corrective program, pre and post x-rays, just laid out exactly as they do it, in Glowacki's program. So there's two factors here for my 2-day-a-week practice, which happens to be your marketing and the way we run that day one, day two, because it's the product that we're selling, when we go to market.
Yeah. And so you really need an offer. It boils down to an offer. So however people have done marketing in the past, we're On Track Chiropractic. We're so great. We're located at, this and this address. We're in Clifton, and here's Dr. Dave, and he's got 20 years experience. Come visit our website. Like, that type of marketing is so useless because you've told me nothing. I don't know how you can help me. I know some of your accolades, 20 years in business. That's great. And, look, that's why we do some cool – look, it's very important for the doctors, I've realized, to take care of the warm and fuzzy. Make you a nice website, make you some cool material. That's why we do stuff like this now. So, like, interviews, like our psychiatry, branch. Put you on the cover of your own magazine, ship you 200 copies. That takes care of the warm and fuzzy. But if we're talking revenue dollars to grow your business, what's really important that we do in our service is creating an offer. It's all about the offer.
Yep. And we've seen that shift to the tune of 30 to 40 leads a month. Now, if you're out, so now some people we didn't answer the question, like, so how is that different? I know what you do, but like, how does that work? Like, so we're doing the boost, you're doing some behind the scenes Wizard of Oz type of stuff.
Yeah.
The way I can see, because how does that even happen? Because now people are clicking on my offer that want my service, not just like my video. Like, they saw something, they know what they're going to get, they click on it, and then they come into the office and they become patients. Like, that's really cool. So so you actually are able to go out and find people that are literally looking for exactly what I have to offer.
Yeah.
And that blows me away. Like, that's the thing. Like, and I've done dinner with the docs, and I've done screenings, and I've done it all, and I love to go out and communicate. And what I tell people all the time is this: like, people say, why do you do lectures? Why do you do talks? Well, I do them so I could educate the community. I can spread the message, right? And then I also trying to get new patients, right? So all of a sudden with you, I'm getting a bunch of new patients in the door, and I find myself not going out and doing so many dinner talks.
Yeah.
Not doing any more. And as a matter of fact, I haven't done any. I haven't done any for the last 2 years. It's like kind of been like, almost feel like I'm lazy because all these people are coming in the door, which contradicts my first premise, which was I go out to the community to educate the community. Because quite honestly, once I got the new patients, I stopped doing that. And I realized I'd rather educate the patients that are coming in my door, in my office, and they're paying me. It's a much better use of my time. I say it all the time. I'd rather do dinner with my wife or dinner with my family than dinner with the doc. No offense, you know what? I'd rather be home hanging out doing what I love when I'm not in the office 2 days a week. And this has made a big difference so I could do that. So just thought I'd throw that in there because it's a huge shift for me.
Wow. Yeah, it's awesome, man. Absolutely. So how does it work? So can you see my screen?
Yep.
All right. So here's what you see, and then here's what you don't see. And when this is from the perspective of a consumer on Facebook. So when you're posting your videos, which is great, like you still post them, keep posting, because here's what we do on the back end. Whenever somebody watches this video, just of you doing your value content, we can measure. We have what's called a pixel. So we measure who watches 50%, 25%, 3 seconds, 10 seconds, 95%, 100%. Then we are in the business manager. This is the back end. So when when we run your offer ads, so this is the offer, 90-day program. We're going to target a radius, but we're also going to target all of these people from all the videos that you've put out over X amount of years. So we're building this audience from what you've done on the front end. So maybe the boost does help a little bit with that. Because if you boost a post for $20 and you get 1,000 views and 300 of those watch it 50%, we can now show those people your offer.
Okay.
So
all that work didn't go away. So it was worth it anyway.
it was worth it. It was it was a piece of the puzzle. And what I find sometimes is like when we come into a clinic is the doctor or the entrepreneur, whoever's running the business, they have a lot of the right pieces, but it's just not put together in a strategic way to really monetize it.
Okay.
So here's what we'll do. They'll see the offer. We'll drive them to your funnel. So through ClickFunnels, I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of ClickFunnels. And we also have a pixel here. So guess what? If they come to your funnel but don't fill it out, we can then remarket to them again. So we can show them another ad and it says, you know, hey, still have neck pain, still unsatisfied with your spine, still haven't seen Dr. Dave, blah, 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 blah. So we can, based on where they hit, and then this is the thank you page where, you know, they can book, or we give them a call to action to call in. Here's the other really powerful thing is with our software Move is when they become a lead, they're going to get a text message, they're going to get email automated, and then we still got to record the voicemail drop, by the way, because that's going to be
the follow-up. So the other thing is this, and if any of you are following us who already kind of know this to us, there's people that are watching this that are like, I don't know what idea you're talking about. It was because this is kind of actually new to me, to tell you the truth. But there are some people who know this to a degree, and they know lead generation and all that sort of thing. What people really should know is the other end with this Move software, which I have an app on my phone. I get to when they interact, and then it automatically sends them text. So we're scheduling them, asking for us to give us a call to schedule them. We automated our schedule system. You know, we automated our phone system. So it's like, it's this so automated thing as people are clicking on here, where it transitions into us bringing them in and making that appointment. And you've made that seamless. I think where a lot of those companies come in where they promise you these leads, but if you don't have the system of follow-up and you can't train your team to do it, then you could spend a lot of money on leads, but if they don't become patient, let's face it, doesn't work. You know, it's like getting a lot of clicks on YouTube, but they're not becoming your patients. Like, yeah, you're YouTube famous, but you know, you don't make any money, right? So the whole idea is if you're converting or not, and that's one thing that you really have down.
Right.
The software, it's awesome.
Yeah, because 2 years prior to us ever meeting, you know, I'm a salesperson. Like our expertise is sales, and that's what the sales training and some of the consulting. And so every marketing decision we make is how do we drive more sales? And when you're not a behemoth company where you can just dump millions into branding, every dollar you spend, do no cost brand building. So for example, you can still get your brand out there. When we run a video ad for you as the offer, we're still getting your brand out there because we're working with the video guy, or we could do video work for you too in-house. But you're still getting your brand out there, but you're investing in direct response. So unless you have like really, really deep pockets, it doesn't really make sense to pay for branding off the bat. Like you need to invest in something where it's going to get you a return. And that's what this service is going to do. Now at the same time, I say that, but it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? Because these things do take time. I mean, I think we pretty much, there's a previous video of us, and I think we pretty much got you a return right away, like within the first 30 days. Is that right?
Yeah, what happened was, so this is how it went down from my remembrance. I said, so Scott that comes in, I beat him down as a salesperson. Wait,
you kicked me out. He kicked me out of his office, but I was like, all right, I was kind of expecting this. But
well, I say to people, I'm like, listen, I only work with unsubluxated people. If you're not under chiropractic care, then I really can't work with you. So you got to so it was just one of those kind of things. So a couple of weeks later, or a week or so later, your back was bothering you. And you're like, hey, Dr. Dave, I really liked your conviction as a chiropractor. And I don't really, I feel funny going to one of my clients kind of thing. Would you see me? So you became a patient of mine for a good 3 months where I picked your brain. I picked it. What is this? Because I'm making videos. I'm using Facebook. I'm asking the questions you're answering today. I asked kind of over a 3-month period of time, little by little, as I'm adjusting you. And then you were on your way. You were moving down to Florida. And just before you left, I go, you know what? I think I'm going to pull the trigger on this. And I said, listen, Scott, if this doesn't work, I'm going to kick your ass. That's all I'm going to kick. You, as a chiropractor, there's so many companies and so much bullshit out there. Excuse my French, people steal. It's like, and I want to And I've been through the mill. I've been the beta test for many things. Like, oh yeah, and you're the first person through the mill, right? So, and what impressed me the most, and I'm not the tallest guy, but you're maybe a little shorter, right? You looked at me confidently. And you said, "Don't worry, Dr. Dave, I'm going to deliver because I'm going to blow you away." Something like that. And I was like, this guy's confident. He must have some. So we start off, and of course, the initial investment. I don't know what it was, a couple $1,000 invested, and I invested, and then you sit and wait, right? And then every lead comes in, you're like, every single, you don't want to get that return on that investment. So that first 15 days, it was a little sketchy, but for me, because I thought I was totally just wasted money again, right? And then boom, it started to happen. We started to get those patients. And by the end of the month, I was able to see what was happening by the end of the month. By the second month, we were off to the races. We saw 40 new leads. So it was like, it didn't take long for me to realize something was up. And what we need to do is get good at taking those leads and then converting them. And then what happened was cool was you really worked with us. You just held our hand through that process, and you had this technology for that. So it wasn't like we were left alone to try to figure out. Because I know there's some market go, well, I've got you 50 leads. I don't know, we're doing our part. You must have a problem on your part. And docs, if you're out there, it's hard to run a business. It's hard to maintain a business and in your life and your relationships and your family, right? So you're running all over the place, and now you've got this new job of converting leads over the phone, and it's a new job, right? So that learning curve alone, even though the leads could be good, if you can't deal with the learning curve, you're going to waste money, and that can take you out of it altogether before the miracle happens. So what's beautiful, what you have is a system where not only you teach us right off the bat how to take those leads, how to bring them through, and work with the staff. And that is worth everything. So people should know that.
Yeah, no, thank you. And it really is, you need to have the right people in the right seats. There's a great book called Traction, and it talks about you got to have GWC, people that get it, want it, and have the capacity to do it. So when you get into really any type of marketing, it's way different than a referral, whether you're working with us, whether you're working with, and by the way, there's so many people, and I have a lot of friends in this industry that work with chiropractors. So there's so much competition, and there's 100,000 chiropractors in the US. So how do you differentiate yourself as a provider? You really need to have the right people in the right seats. And a lot of that comes with training, especially when you get into any type of marketing and you're dealing with, converting that. So as long as the staff is receptive and open, hopefully you have your own sort of scripting and internal sales training. Everything in life is a sale. And I know that some medical professionals don't like the word sales. So we want to think of that as a conversion. How do we convert them to a prospect, to an appointment, to a report of findings, to a close? So, we have a whole back office as well, where we have sales training, and we work with you one-on-one with that. It's a huge part in your success in the program is your ability to convert what we deliver. So it's like, we're kind of on the hook, because if you don't deliver, if you don't convert, it reflects upon us not delivering, and then bye-bye marketing.
Well, cool. Listen, we're about out of time, and all I'm going to say about that is you are my marketing go-to guru. I'm your client, but I really appreciate. So part of me paying for my service with you is I force you to come on these things and help other docs. So that's cool with you.
No, I love it. This is awesome, man.
So I always want a little extra. You know how it is here in Jersey. And speaking of which, I know that you have what I'd like for us to come back and talk about more in this group is I know you have something that you want to offer everybody. There's a link or a back office or something that you have that I would love everybody to have. This way, when we go back, we can have further conversations and maybe chunk through that thing a little bit. It's free, and it's tons of marketing content that you can have right now because you're part of this group. So I made Scott do this too. So here's the free stuff.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So we'll attach a link somewhere below this video or whatnot, and we're constantly adding to this. So these are all short videos. We actually did a recorded call of you. So Move, this is our software, how to use it. You'll get this back office completely free, lead handling, resources, scripting. So we're always going to be adding more to it, and you guys can get this absolutely free. And then I believe we also have a link to a free trial of Move as well. But, you know, hopefully this is a tool that can help you guys. We'll drop the link below. And
because your scripting is good. And the thing is, you say, I hope you guys have some sort of lead scripting. But what we've been able to do with you is you've helped us with some of that. So maybe we'll have some people we'll come back. Maybe we'll have a doc on. We'll just go through some scenarios. You've helped us a lot with phone call conversations. You've helped a lot, even around the office, putting things up around the office, you know, marketing. So beyond just this, you know, this lead generating computer stuff,
Right.
You're an incredible marketer. And it's great to get the perspective of a sales / marketer looking at your chiropractic business, because chiropractors are from Planet Chiropractic, right? We're these empathetic, we don't see it that way. We don't use the word sales, but it's an important part of our business and our practice. Not only the marketing, but the sales, because revenue is going to drive your practice. And quite honestly, you want to measure your practice based on metrics, right? So what other new patients, you know, new patients accepting care, that's a metric, right? How many new patients you brought in the door, how much money you're making, gross collections, how much money you're spending, your expenses, right? So these are numbers that you're running a business. So we want to love the business as much as we love seeing the patients. The business gives us that exchange of energy that we can go out, we can change, and we can serve the world, change our lives. So Scott, I appreciate you being one of my very good friends over the years. So
Yeah, man.
You're the guy sending me all the new patients so I can have dinner with my wife instead of dinner with strangers at Chicago Una Grill.
Love it, man. Well, I could go on, and there's a lot more stuff I want to share with your groups. So looking forward to coming back in the future, man.
Awesome. Thanks, brother. Have a great day.
You too. Take care.